Right, we're about to go racing then. Charles Weert's pole, Lucas Auer alongside. Lights on the gantry are red. Race 2, Fanatec GT World Challenge Europe, powered by AWS. Sprint Cup at Misano is go. BMW versus Mercedes, and it's going to be BMW ahead as they blast down towards the first corner. And Charles Weert just turns through ahead of Lucas Auer, who is determined to try to make a move. Do they all get through turn 1? No, there's a spin, and people scatter in avoidance, missing out turn 2. Look, but we had a spinner in the pack. We'll work out who it is in a moment as they accelerate now towards turn 4 for the first time. Some being very, very keen on the brakes and up the curb, and more contact turns the Porsche around there. It turns around the Aston 007, Nicola Bart it is that's been turned around, forgive me. But the survivors battle their way down towards turn 8, and inevitably perhaps it's a rather scrambled start.
Yes, but the BMW had to go quite aggressive to present
safety car
to present Lucas Auer, who got a really good start. So that was Charles Weert going from right to left to really put pressure onto the Mercedes.
Right, this is a replay of the start. Look for 44 Porsche that comes out of turn 16 and goes wide and bang into the barrier.
Yeah, well, that was self-induced. Nobody else is involved.
Now, look at the back of the pack, because you'll see a car get turned sideways, and that's why people scatter in avoidance.
Not a nice situation to be in, facing the wrong way in the opening lap, in the opening corners.
So it's BMW ahead of Mercedes, ahead of Ferrari, and Charles Weert with slightly fewer laps trying to build that gap. Lucas Auer very, very determined to try to find a way through. Remember, they've each had a win, those two cars, the BMW and the Mercedes. They were the victors 2 weeks ago at Brands Hatch, and they're about to accelerate their way now up towards the line. The pin pulled by Charles Weert, he will accelerate away. And the cars now come up towards turn 16. It's going to be the BMW ahead then as they come now down to the left at 16. We're back racing. The lights go green. Sparks fly from underneath the Mercedes. Weert's going left and right, trying to get the tyres back up to pressure and temperature and build the lead at the same time over Lucas Auer. And the margin half a second when they went through in a bit of a wobble there. Was that Altway? Was that Gachet? It was the Audi, wasn't it? Yeah, Simon Gachet's tyres cold, and he's got Rossi crawling all over the back of him.
Yeah, snap oversteering, exit of turn 1, and had to go to the left, and that will probably lose him a position too on board with Valentino Rossi. So Rossi right on the tail of the 111.
Over the line, go Weert, go Auer, and the margin is 9/10 of a second between them. 69 is Giacomo Altway then, and Valentino Rossi up one place, got ahead of Gachet, and Gachet's not letting him go, but we'll see what Valet can do now about the traffic ahead.
Yeah, he just was quicker down into turn 1, got alongside, made the pass, and really there was two cars in two different categories. There's no need to go to war about that, because one's leading the gold and one's leading the pro category, and that's, you know, just drive your own race. You've got to win your own class, and don't fight battles which are not going to do you any big favours.
And let's have a look at how Valentino Rossi took the place up the inside into turn 1. And in fairness, Gachet gave him the room, but Valentino Rossi through, wriggles past, and a good move.
Yes, the team WRT like that. They like it a lot. Come on, that's Charles Weert's dad.
Good job, Dave. Good job.
So Auer there, second, and Giacomo Altway third. Valentino Rossi is behind them in 4th place, and he's not really catching. He's sort of pegged them, but he's not being able to close. He might do if they get together and squabble, though.
Just look at the spread of the lights in the Ferrari. Yeah. They're almost pointing out at right angles. So those are lights that you might want to use, not so much here in Misano, but certainly going to Spa-Francorchamps, where it will be really dark when you get into the nighttime hours. So the lights are spreading out, you know, almost 120 degrees from the front of the car.
There is second and third. Charles Weert's 2.8 seconds to the good. He's now done the fastest lap of the race at 1:32.9. So the lead BMW getting away. But have a look here. Rossi up with Altway. Altway drops back from Auer, who on this lap has done an absolute best sector.
Well, Valentino is absolutely, I mean, he's been so alive since he won the race earlier this afternoon, and he was very courageous in taking the position away from the 111 Audi a little earlier. Now he fancies a sniff at the Ferrari of Giacomo Altway. That gap is down to 0.3 of a second, and I think the difference between the Ferrari and the BMW is quite simple. The BMW is quicker. Weert's will have enough in hand to increase it to about around the 3 or so seconds.
And Magnus goes ahead of Engschler then, so there's the change for second in goal. Gilles Magnus, brave to a fault, goes through up on the inside line. A replay here of the pass, I think, of Gilles Magnus. He got a better line out of 11 through 12, job done on the inside line. So Luca Engschler slots in behind him. There is Charles Weerts through the traffic, getting himself past Philip Saga's Porsche. And are we anticipating the car in at the end of this lap? We are. In comes the BMW, so the leader is in.
So the gap when they came across the line at the start of lap 16 was 3.4 seconds over second place Mercedes. Metronomic pit stop, as we always anticipate from WRT. And we have to wait and see when the Mercedes comes in, if they can match it. The Winward Racing team man, Filter Mercedes, leads right now. And Rossi, second position, 2.5 seconds in arrears.
Interesting how many have pitted really early. Valentino Rossi then up into second place for the moment. Simon Gachet third. And we'll see what the pit stop time is going to be from 32 BMW once it blasts back into the race. Sven Muller has just rejoined the race. 1:59 has been in to give way to Tom Gamble. So Lucas Auer on track leads unless he pits this time.
First of the WRT stoppers was Callan Williams, and that was a 1 minute 4.3 seconds, and that's the quickest time I think we've seen. There was a 1:55 for Vantor. So the Vantor stop was slower than the sister team car.
And in comes Valentino Rossi. And they could do with this pit stop being quicker than 32s to bring it a little bit closer. So he loosens the belts, can't undo them, but he can loosen them ready to jump out of the car. Remember that the Pro Cup, the gold and silver pit stops are all what you might call a natural pit stop, as quick as you can, whereas in bronze they're done to a regulation pit in to pit out time. Valentino Rossi to give way to Maxime Martin.
When Weerts came in, he came in quite quickly, had a little lock-up just to bring the car to a standstill. That was a better entry into the pit lane. Now, whether it was as committed as that of Charles Weerts, I don't know, but Maxime Martin quickly in the car. Valentino Rossi helps him, assists with the lap belts. You've got a crutch straps, you've got the strap goes around your midriff, and you've got a big buckle. You've got to get all those items all put in together. So there is now Dries van Voor behind the wheel, and clear road. He'll be delighted with that. That's been a very good strategic time to bring in the 32 BMW. Clear road, he can drive as he chooses.
Lucas Auer has stayed out, and of course this car is now on fresh tyres. Where is Valentino Rossi's car? Maxime Martin at the wheel, not that far behind. There is Maxime Martin now, blasting back onto the racetrack, and I would say he's nearer to 32 than the car was before. Nose to tail.
He thought about it, but there's no space.
Yeah, and look, both of them hug the curb on the inside line, not just use a little bit of it, all four wheels on the curb on the inside. So there's absolutely nowhere that Martin can go through there because the one line is completely full of Mercedes. He's to the outside, then he wants the undercut. Out of 11, outside line to 12, that's brave, and it ain't going to work there. He's trying to force a little error out of Engel, wants him to run slightly wide, up towards 13 and 14, then to the hairpin. This is for second place in real terms of the pit stoppers. They're also being caught by Thierry Vermeulen as well. So as these two get themselves together, it gives Vanthor a free ride up the road, but it's bringing the number 69 Emil Frey Racing Ferrari into the mix as well. And that is Jeff Machiels having a big lose. Just gets away from behind Mikael Gustafsson's Mercedes, rotates, and hopefully hasn't hit anything solid, as side by side, just keeping Martin at bay, is Maro Engel. This is a fabulous battle.
Yeah, Maro Engel just drives down the back straight on the right-hand side of the racetrack and says, Maxime Martin, if you want to pass me, find the long route. I'm not going to give you the short one.
So along the straight they go, and Martin pulling out of the draft there, having a look on the wide line in. He wants the undercut, and this, I think, is the lap on which he's going to try, but the drive of the Mercedes off the corner keeps Engel ahead. Now to the outside line into 9. Again, Martin wants to go wide in, tight out, jump up the inside, but Engel is wise to this. He has been around the block, and then again, and he's still second. Right, Dan Harper up the inside. Brilliant move to get past Hugo de Wilde. And the British GT champion and the Endurance Cup championship leader has done it. Dan Harper through. That's how you overtake. So the BMW up towards 10-12. And now Maxime Martin for third, Maro Engel for second, chase Dries van Voor towards the finish line because there's only one corner to go. Down towards 16 comes the BMW. Dries van Voor and Charles Weerts started from pole. They've annihilated the opposition, and race 2 in Fanatec GT World Challenge Europe. Sprint Cup won by the BMW of Team WRT for Dries van Voor and Charles Weerts. A delighted Charles Weerts there on the pit wall. Second, Mauro Engel and Lucas Auer. And third, Maxime Martin and Valentino Rossi. Provisional results then of race 2 here. Dries van Thor and Charles Weert win from Mauro Engel and Lucas Auer. Maxime Martin third with the help of Valentino Rossi. Fourth, Thierry Vermeulen and Giacomo Altway. Fifth, Sven Muller and Patrick Niederhauser. And sixth, Tom Gamble and Benjamin Goethe. A win in gold for Lucas Legeret and Simon Gachet in the CSA Racing Audi. A win in silver for Callan Williams and Sam Dehaan, their second of the day for Team WRT. And a win in bronze for a Ferrari for Eddie Cheever and Jonathan Hui for Sky Tempesta Racing. WRT, yet another trophy for the warehouse, never mind the cabinet, they've got so many. And for Dries van Thor, for Charles Weert, the winners' trophies here at Misano. So the BMW drivers will be ahead in the championship now after a second place earlier on in the day and that win. There is champagne to spray. Maxime Martin is the first one with the bottle. Valentino Rossi joins in the fun, gets a soaking from Dries. Well, it has been a very interesting day at Misano. 2 good races for our Sprint Cup, and the next stop for Fanatec GT World Challenge Europe is going to be the CrowdStrike 24 Hours of Spa at the end of June. We'll see you there. Bye for now.